Welcome to the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views. I'm your host, Diane Sawyer, and today we have our monthly update with our City Manager, Summer Woodard. Welcome to the show, Summer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the updates too that you're letting us do.
I love it. I think that you are doing such a wonderful job with communication and letting people know. You really came in hitting the ground running, and now I've been here a whole year. We're celebrating a year.
Yeah,
Yay!
it's exciting.
It's so exciting. And so much has changed in our landscape all around us in a year, but especially because of your touch and the things that you have your team doing. So let's just talk a little bit about some of those updates and some of the things that you have going on. So we'll start with maybe the all-inclusive park and where we are with that and sort of the updates on the timeline and how that's shaping up.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me on again today. Certainly look forward to our monthly news and views with our viewers. And it's like you and I have talked, communication's critical, especially with all the events and projects we've got going on this next year. So really appreciate the opportunity to be able to connect with our viewers. So with all-inclusive park, we have ordered the equipment. We have a subcommittee established. We are hoping to get the equipment here within the next 30 to 60 days. It will probably be late fall, early winter before the park is completed, just because of some supply and demand issues. But we are very hopeful moving that project along that we will get that completed either by the end of this year or worst case scenario, first of spring of 2023.
Well, that will go right along with some of the great celebrations and things that you are doing next year. Tell us a little bit about where you are for celebrating the Sesquicentennial anniversary that's coming up.
So we're very excited for that. It's hard to believe that it's getting ready to be 2023 very, very soon. So we've got several good events planned. We've got a great committee working on our Sesquicentennial for our 150th anniversary. I know that they're looking at our great partnership with the Chamber and getting some promotional activities out there, but we're hoping to kick those off in January of 2023 with some events like a Roaring 20s party and really celebrate different decades that have led us to this 150th. So stay tuned, more to come on those detailed events.
Awesome. And splash pad, yay! It's got to be one of my favorite things just because I understand how important it is to have family opportunities, and that's going to really change, I think, Parks and Rec and the opportunities that they're providing. So tell us about where we are with that.
So splash pad, we're really making progress on that. So we actually have several meetings planned this month with our engineering firm that was selected to design our splash pad. We are very excited. We've got some really cool features. We've got a large scorpion that's going to spray water. Really, really fun and unique opportunities there at the splash pad. We are looking at including, of course, a changing facility, also restrooms to make sure that the parents and other visitors who go there to watch their children or even themselves cool off on a hot summer day, they are taken care of as well as far as shelter and shade and proper facilities for them to utilize. We probably will look at going ahead and building the building for concessions. Don't know that we'll do concessions right away, but certainly thinking future 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road to go ahead and put a concession stand in there to be able to provide that service possibly at a later date. But we have kind of had some kickoff meetings with our splash pad. We're hoping to have an update and some drawings taken back to City Council at their July City Council meeting. So when we meet in July, we'll try and share some photos and some renderings of what the splash pad is going to look like. But the kickoff and our goal is to have the splash pad completed and hopefully have our grand opening Memorial Day 2023. So we're very, very excited. I think that particular area of town is just positioned perfectly for boom. We've got some great restaurants and businesses there. You've got Turks. We're going today to the ribbon cutting for Jack's Burger Bar. So very excited for that part of town. And also I couldn't forget Farmer's Table on that side of town. There's some really great existing possibilities, and it's exciting to see what the splash pad will bring to that particular area of town.
And just thinking about the life that's being breathed into Jaycee Park, the Luckies, oh my gosh, like that is the coolest thing to me, to be able to go out there and see some real talent for 2 months in the summer, this collegiate team, they're playing in the summer league with the Old North State. I had the opportunity to go to the season opener this year, and man, like those guys are talented. Like if you love baseball at all, like it is a really great time.
It is such a unique experience, and kudos to you. I got to see you throw the first pitch at grand opening. You did wonderful, and that is just such a unique opportunity for the city of Reidsville to have here and them to utilize our facilities as the Luckies. It's very unique to our area, and I know you and I have talked about, creative ways to make sure we're getting it marketed out there to our residents and visitors, because it's such a cool experience. They play numerous times throughout the year, but to have that partnership, we value that. I know we've been working with them throughout this past year on some lighting and trying to get everything, the field manicured and ready for them to play on, because we want to make sure we have the best possible venue for them to play on. It was so nice. I was able to attend as well on opening day, and also get to see some of the food vendors out there. Boardwalk Baker, I think that's just a really cool experience. Kona Ice, Lucky City Brewery is there as well. So it's just really unique to get to see all the local businesses being able to participate. And when you look there over our field, all the businesses that have sponsored and are buying into this great brand we've got going with the Luckies. And we've got a great team. We've got some great hitters, some great catchers. It's been very impressive to watch, and I would encourage all our viewers to go catch a Luckies game.
Absolutely. It's really funny. My favorite so far is definitely the catcher, because he introduced himself to me and he was like, "You're throwing the first pitch?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "What do I need to do? Never done this before." And he was so friendly, and I got to talk to him about where he was from, and then I got to watch him hit and and catch for the inning before. Of course, we had a rain out, but they're going to reschedule that game, and it was just so cool. Like, and we have local folks playing. We have people who have been in this business community for a long time, their kids playing on that team. And they were the member of the month for May. We recognized the Old North State League for being able to really bring back that historical piece for us, because a lot of people don't know that, and know that our very own Pat Foy Brady was a part of that team. And it was really cool for the Brady family to experience that one, the season opener last year. And I just think that we've got to keep trying to spread the word about all the great things. There's so many things going on. So speaking of that and summer activities, we've got still a lot lined up for the rest of this summer. You want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are happening? Absolutely.
So tonight, and certainly appreciate all the work you guys are doing for the downtown event tonight with the car show. We've got our second Downtown Fridays. Excited to kick that off again this month. I believe it's from 6 to 8, and I believe you guys will be there as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So very excited for that with the car shows. We've got some great concerts planned. And then also to give a shout out to the merchants on Scales. I know that they're doing, and I believe it's monthly first of the month Saturdays.
Yes, ma'am.
That is awesome. If you have the opportunity to come downtown and visit with them, please do. They're doing such a great job of promoting and advertising our town. And it's a really unique atmosphere we all have going right now.
And it was packed, like on the first one last month. So, I guess the beginning of this month. I'm already thinking about July. And yeah, they have the July 4th fun planned for the first Saturday, which is July 2nd, which also I've been getting calls and questions about. We are planning fireworks at Lake Reidsville on the 2nd with a band and all the things, right?
We are planning our annual fireworks celebration on the 2nd. We're excited. Please, bring your families, your visitors. We have our beautiful camping facilities out there as well, but lots of family fun that day, and we're very, very excited to offer that again as well on our annual basis. So very, very exciting things happening.
It is. And let's not forget Fourth Saturday concerts.
Absolutely.
At Market Square. And so that kicks off this month. And so the second Downtown Fridays were May, June, July, and August. And then the fourth Saturday concerts are June, July, August, and September.
Yes, ma'am.
So, which takes us to October and the FAB Festival.
So excited to have that back and back downtown. Our RDC board is doing a great job cheerleading that event through. We've got some great vendors, great ideas coming through. One thing that we really want to work on at the City of Reidsville this year is kind of something very similar that we did with our Christmas display and do something really unique for a fall display. Now that we have some time to start thinking about it and planning, just to plan accordingly with the FAB Festival. And I did want to say one other activity that I did actually get to observe is Zumbas on Monday night at Market Square. I came by this past Monday. It is packed, and it's a free service. So anyone out there who wants to come down on Mondays at Market Square, I believe, is it 6:30, 6 or 6:30?
I think so, but it's all listed on I know it's on the Facebook page for Market Square, and it's also listed on a flyer. I know it goes out in our email newsletter, and I'm sure it's on some other stuff with the city, so you can find that pretty easily. Great partnership with the YMCA that they have been helping us do some of those exercise classes out there. And it's kind of funny, that's what I used to do. Like, a lot of people know that I was a health educator, and in my old job, one of the things we did was provide free aerobics classes and free water aerobics classes, and people would be like, oh, nobody's going to come to a free class. Honey, trust and believe they do come to free exercise classes, because that's a big deal. And when it's free, it's just kind of like all walks of life and everybody coming out there just to be healthy together. And that's one of the main points of the Main Street program. And one of the committees that we have is healthy living. So it goes right along with that idea that the walkability of downtown and people being able to get out and get active. Which brings me to all the things are at Market Square because of the construction that is coming, which is going to make our walkability and our healthy living even better. So let's talk for a few minutes. We talked last time about the Streetscape Project and what a big undertaking it is and what a large investment it is, and how it's just gonna totally change and transform downtown. Tell us a little bit about the communication that we're trying to achieve together and kind of what the plan is and how that looks as it's starting to roll out soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate that as well. So we met with Duke Energy this past week, our Streetscape Committee did, and we really want to make sure that we work cohesively with Duke Energy when we go to start removing the street lights, because at no time do we want all the street lights removed. We'll be doing a block at a time. And what we've worked out with Duke Power is when we're removing, or when they're removing, we'll be replacing, or there'll be lights that are scattered throughout for safety issues and then just for visibility as well. So been working with Duke Energy on that. We are actually going to be going out to our merchants next Friday, some members of our committee, and you had a great suggestion about giving a map when we were at RDC and showing a rendering to our merchants so they can show visitors coming into their store and our residents what this is going to look like, because it is going to have some headaches and hiccups, and it's not going to be a pleasant 8 months, but the end result is going to be so worth it. But we're looking at starting probably in mid-July, and that would be solely doing right up here at Market Square, Mural Park. And as you've noticed, we've got the brick pavers that have started to sink, so there's some liability issues. It's like we talked last time, that's why the fence is still there. We're going to go in there and redo that entire area. It will look exactly like it does, but just make it for safety and liability. New brick. So that will start mid-July, and then the big project of doing a block at a time will kick off in August. But we are finalizing some renderings and also a step-by-step kind of what for our public and our businesses and our residents to expect on what's going to occur for the month of August. This is the time frame it's going to take to get this done. But our goal is at no time would you not be able to access businesses. We will build, a little walkway. You will always have access to go into a business. You may just can't park directly, at the door because we're doing streets and sidewalks, but we plan to work with our merchants and communicate with them. And you have a great relationship with the city and our merchants and our downtown association, and you've been a great cheerleader to help us with that communication. And so with meeting with Duke, we're really close with finalizing that plan.
That is really awesome, because to me, right, the biggest thing is communication. It's critical, like you said, but also people learn differently. And so hearing something sometimes versus seeing it, and I'm very visual. So I think for me, it was natural to say, hey, like if we can see it, right, and people can point to it and say, this is what it's going to look like, and kind of like show and tell, something that creates pride of ownership. So I think it's going to be a really trying time, but I'm hoping that all the work that you've put into it is going to make it a lot smoother. We're almost to Ice Cream Social, which is when we started to notice last year. And that was, I think, the last event that was at Mural Park, because that was the point where we started realizing, oh, some of the bricks quite don't, it's weird, right? Like you're kind of, they don't match up. So something seemed off, and then it wasn't long after that I think it really started to go downhill. So kudos to the city for quick action. It was one of the first things that I think came about for you. Then you were just like on top of it, like we closed it off, and it's, you know, we're not going to use it. But then you made it look pretty during Christmas, and, you know, used what you could. And it was very well thought out and very well done. And I just think that your ability to talk to people and to explain things well, and your willingness to do this. I mean, you're a very busy lady. It is budget time. You have been meeting. I know there was a point at one time where you were like, we have budget meetings every day. Like it was, you know, it was like every day, every department, trying to figure things out. And I would just say something about that. You and council and Chris Phillips, who, oh my gosh, is a genius when it comes to that stuff. Y'all have worked so hard, his staff and all of you, to say, hey, we recognize it's been a tough time. And hey, we realize that the economy is crazy, and we realize that gas prices are crazy and that food prices are crazy. We're going to do our part. Like the city's going to maintain, like we're going to hold the line, and we're just going to do business as normal. And we are in a position to be able to do that. So we're not going to pass it on to our residents. And that is so amazing to recognize that, to be able to communicate that, and to say, hey, this is what the plan is. And y'all have worked really hard to be at that point. And so thank you for what you do and how much time and effort you're putting into not only making us more beautiful and more attractive and being able to bring people and to bring more money to our businesses and to our community, but also realizing on the fiscal side of things that people are going through a tough time.
They are. And thank you so much for bringing up budget. I was actually looking at a study right before I came in today. And one of the main things was inflation is again now at an even all-time high than last month. It's 8.6%. Again, still the highest since 1982, and it just continues to rise. And, you know, some people look at, you know, we had a question with some economists the other day, what's worse, recession or inflation? And they're both horrible, and all of our residents are facing that right now with this. So, you know, with the budget this year, when we went into budget prep, our main thing that we wanted to look at was to make sure we're still continuing to provide the services for our residents while maintaining, because everyone is struggling right now, as you alluded to earlier, with gas prices, with you know, rent, everything, groceries. I mean, going to the grocery store, it's astronomical right now. And you know, we were able this year, we're not doing a tax increase. We're not increasing any fees, and we're also not increasing our water and sewer rates. We're holding the line, and it's unique because this is also the first year that Reidsville's budget does not have our former largest tax base in it, which was our local tobacco industry. So the forethought that was put in planning when that industry unfortunately left, it's impressive, of what city staff and managers at the time, finance officers, and our mayor and city council did to be able to get us in this position to where we can maintain and make sure our residents are provided for.
It's funny that you say that, because I think that we, as the chamber, have said it. You know, we've helped over the years facilitate conversations about those things, but this city council, the former city council, and going all the way back to things like Reidsville and selling water. And there have been so many things along the way that the staff and the former city managers and the former council have done to put us in the position that we are in when so many others are suffering, and we don't have to, because they took the things on the front end. And Chris Phillips did this amazing presentation one year, in explaining the water rates and the sewer rates and how you guys are governed by the state and what you're supposed to do and what level it's supposed to be at and why. And, you know, Reidsville wasn't afraid to say, we're not where we need to be if we don't do these things. So we must do these things. And unfortunately, a lot of our neighbors and other local municipalities across the state were going through some of the same things and losing some of these larger industries, especially during recession, and then some of the other things that have happened along the way. And so they weren't prepared and they weren't building the back infrastructure. And so here we are, Reidsville's in this great place, and I think it's kudos to those folks, but then kudos to the folks who are in right now making these plans and preparations for our future and all the things that you're doing, because we've been able to be fiscally responsible and position ourselves for growth and for things that are coming here and looking to come here, and things that are on the horizon that people don't even know about yet, things that I don't even know about yet, but I know that are happening because you can feel it. There's like this energy, and it's so refreshing to have that kind of energy and to know. And you know, your team is really doing so much work behind the scenes and trying to make things happen. So kudos to them.
No, we have such an amazing team. Like, all of the projects we've been going over, the splash pad, the all-inclusive park, none of that would be possible without the team that we have. Our management team is absolutely amazing. They wear many hats. In addition to their day-to-day operations, they serve on a variety of those subcommittees. Also, our public works, our police, our fire department, water and sewer, everyone plays such a critical role in day-to-day operations and making sure that we have a great team and a strong team to where we can provide those services. So none of this would be possible without the team that we have, and we have an amazing team.
Yeah, you guys are doing a lot. And I know we covered the downtown events and we covered the streetscape, but there's one project that you're working on that we hadn't talked about. So tell me about that, because I know you're really excited about it.
So we're very excited with the partnership opportunity we've entered into with ADTS. So back in the fall of 2021, myself and council lady Miss Sherry Walker rode our SCAT bus system. And we were able to visit different sites throughout the SCAT bus route. And it really, really wanted us to look at some partnerships with ADTS to provide some bus stop shelters. So we have entered into a partnership opportunity. We have set aside $50,000 from our American Rescue Funds to partner with ADTS to look at providing a variety of bus stop shelters throughout the city of Reidsville. So we're super excited with that partnership. We're hoping that that will pick up and be going probably in the next 2 to 3 months. Our Public Works Department has been absolutely instrumental in working with us on that as well. But we have 10 locations that ADTS recommended to us. We've met with ADTS and we're looking at possibly doing 5 bus stop shelters. So in that bus stop shelter, it'll be covered, it'll have a bench, a trash can. So we're very excited to be able to provide that resource to our residents that will keep them out. I mean, like days like today, day like yesterday with the heat, standing out there relying on public transportation and those elements, it is really nice to be able to offer this to them. So we're very excited for that.
Yeah, that's a really cool partnership, and it's very important. We want to look after our citizens as much as possible, and you know, the elements here in our area, I mean, they are a wide variety. We have nice days, but then we have some really hot days or some really chilly days. We've had a lot of storms, it seems, lately. So, you know, I think that that is very important, and it's very exciting that you're going to be able to offer that. Not to mention the visibility factor that it is going to bring to the stops, and the fact that we have public transportation. It's just another, excuse me, it's just another one of those things that I think it will draw attention to the fact that we have that wonderful service that is being provided. So
we do. And one thing we had talked about yesterday with representatives from ADTS is, you know, our SCAT bus system, it's for all residents. You know, especially right now with gas prices, I mean, It is a service that is provided by ADTS that's remarkable because, sometimes individuals associate it with it's for older residents or people with medical appointments, but it's really not. When I've rode the bus that day, there you go to Walmart. It's a great resource of public transportation and certainly would encourage more residents to utilize that service because it's a very affordable service as well.
It absolutely is. And it does. And the great thing is they have the ability to connect you across the county with the connectors. And so that just makes it very much a need that is met when it comes to services from the county perspective and being able to travel to the county seat and get to other areas. So that's that really is, I think, underutilized. And people don't talk about it that often. So I'd really like to see us do a big splash about the shelters when you get them in place, and pick maybe a prominent one and do a ribbon cutting. I think that would be really phenomenal.
Very nice. Thank you.
So let's continue to talk about that and see where that project goes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we're almost out of time. Have we covered everything today that we wanted to chat about and update on at this point?
I believe so. And again, just really appreciate the opportunity. I look forward to our talks next month and connecting with our viewers. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll look forward to next time.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that is it for today's News and Views show. As always, you can locate us in downtown Reidsville at 140 South Scale Street, or find us on social media or on our website at www.reidsvillechamber.org. We look forward to next time, so stay tuned.